What is going on, Dominators? David Dominator here, and today we're here with another video, but um, I'm a little late. So we are gonna, depending on how much we do, we might chunk this up into multiple parts. We might get through a whole week, depending on the time. But we are gonna try to get through as many weeks or many days as possible. I was very busy. I was unable to make a video for the last few days. Um, I was from the 4th, I think, all the way to the 7th. I was busy, so there was no way I was able to make a video, and then I just got busy throughout the last week, hanging out with people, and I just completely forgot I had to get this done, which, yeah, so if you guys see this, I do have a tattoo. um, I can't, you guys can't really see all the detail, but you guys can see it, so that's why if you guys see it in the background, you guys are like, what the hell is that, you know? Um, but I like this. I'm gonna use this app now because I feel like either way it's hard to read all of the stuff, but you could get a sense. So we are using the ESPN app if you guys wanna, if you guys are wondering which one I'm going to. We're gonna go try to get right into it, like I said, because I either want to get through all from the 7th, I mean to the 4th, all the way to the 14th. So I have to get through 10 days of games. So that means I'm gonna have to speed through and talk, because I do want to get this chunk of videos in, so then that way you don't have to get rapid fire with videos, and older ones too. So this is gonna be a long video. Okay, so brace yourself. Depending on when you guys are watching this, because this will be out on the 15th, I'm gonna try to put timestamps in there for you guys, for each week, or for each day. I keep saying week, but it's for each day. And if you guys want to know the certain games, that's just going to be too much for me. So I'm not going to do a lot of my normal stuff that I was going to do. Like I was going to do like a player of the day or like a player of the week or whatever. That's not going to happen unless if I can think of it on the fly. But anyways, let's get right into it. November the 4th. A lot of games. I'm going to do it in the list that I have it because I don't want to get it messed up. Actually, no, because it's simple. So, first game, the Golden Knights beat the Senators. The Knights, this was a part of their game road trip. I believe they literally just started their road trip, because I think they lost to the Leafs, I believe, if I am not mistaken. Um, but yeah, it was a big day for the Golden Knights. They needed to win. They got it. Robin Leonard with the great goaltending. Um, Jonathan Marchessault with 2 goals. As you guys can see here, I know it's difficult to see, but Robin Leonard had an 8. This is also why I kind of want to use this app. 38 saves. So obviously 39 shots. That's pretty good. Good save percentage. Nicholas Waugh. Those were the stars of the game. Bruins beat the Red Wings. Pretty decent game overall. Obviously, Bruins dominated, and they're keeping rolling. The Leafs beat the Lightning in overtime. Um, you know, not really much to say. These older ones are going to be very quick because it's so difficult to keep track. The Islanders beat the Canadiens pretty badly. I think the Canadiens are starting to heat up, or are trying to warm themselves up, because once they get Carey Price, they're going to feel a little better. But they're going to need to help Carey. They can't just depend on him for everything. But the Islanders do get the victory there, and they continue a decent start of the season. The Panthers beat the Capitals in overtime. This is one of the games of the night, along with the Lightning and Leafs, the Flyers game. But we're going to talk about real quick. The game of the day is the one right under this, the Flyers and the Penguins. It was a hell of a game, and just a hell of a way to lose in overtime. There was many good chances, there was many good shots, but at the end of the day, the Penguins pulled out a victory in overtime, which a lot of people didn't think they were going to win. So that is definitely the game of the day. The Stars and the Flames had a really good battle as well in overtime. Obviously, the Stars winning. The Kraken beat the Sabres, but I have something to tell you guys about the Kraken, but I will talk to you later in this video at the end, because they are the last game against the Wild. yesterday. So I'm going to talk about a rumor I heard who is on the trading block already for this team. And then the Sharks beat the Blues. It was a pretty good game and pretty evenly throughout most of it. Sharks fell apart and they couldn't get goals, so it kind of fell apart. But yeah, good game overall in my opinion. Friday, November 5th, the Winnipeg Jets beat the Blackhawks. Blackhawks were struggling. The Oilers and the Rangers went to overtime. And this is the game I put as the star of the day, or as the game of the day, I guess, because obviously it was just a lot of scoring, and it literally was like it felt like the Rangers were gonna take it. And I think this was the day that Connor McDavid had that like impressive goal, just the impressive goal where he goes through like 3 defenders and scores. So that's why that is on the top. Predators beat the Canucks. The Canucks are they had an upstart and now they're just having a decline, and you could see that in these 2 weeks. The Coyotes were winless still. When losing the Anaheim Ducks, Ducks just played well, and there's nothing to really say there. Kings and the Devils, really good game too. Went to overtime. The Kings won it in a really good overtime. I think it was Marcus. No, I can't say his name, and I always say it, and it's annoying. But yeah, the game of the day right there was the Rangers game. Yeah. Saturday, November 6th, the Golden Knights beat the Canadiens in their first time back in Montreal. The stars of the game, and I will do the stars of the game for the Knights because obviously that's like the team I represent. But Robin Leonard gets the third star with 36 saves and a 947 save percentage. Nick Suzuki gets is the second star with a goal and an assist, and then Alec Pietrangelo is on there with a goal and an assist. Good game by both teams. This was actually a really good game. I only saw some of it because I went to the Silver Knights game, so I didn't get to watch it. But this is when they scored on their first power play goal, and I believe they scored 2. And this was very good because the Golden Knights were the only team that hasn't scored in the power play. And from this game forward, their power play goals have started to come up. So it's very interesting to see. But the Golden Knights did get 2. Already going out of this road trip, they're 1-2. I think that's really what they wanted. They just needed 2 wins. The Lightning beat the Senators. This was also a really good game. Looking at the highlights, the Lightning ended up pulling it out like they probably should have. The Panthers beat the Hurricanes. This was a very good game, and what you would expect from 2 of the powerhouses in that area. So it was a really good game overall. The Red Wings, and I do have like 3 games as game of the day. Red Wings beat Sabres in overtime. I think this was a good game, but I think there's 2 games that are better. So this one isn't game of the day. The Bruins lose to the Leafs. Leafs beat them at home, which was really good. Austin Matthews with 2 goals, having a really good game. This was one of the games of the night. The Wild versus the Penguins. The Wild in a shootout, and I think this is the Wild is definitely a team that always starts off really interesting in the year. They're playing very well, and I think that nothing's really stopping them from being a really good team this year. But there is things that they could fix, and I think if they could fix them before the trade deadline, they could be a team to look out for. Flyers beat the Capitals. Flyers just took advantage in the second period. Is where they scored their 2 goals. Capitals just started scoring a little too late. I need to figure out what day it is, but the Capitals had a goaltender, and in his debut he got a shutout. We'll obviously see that, because this video is already so long. The Blue Jackets beat the Avalanche 4-2. This was definitely a shocker for me. I thought the Avalanche was going to win this game, but the Blue Jackets have been having a really good start to the season, so I shouldn't have underestimated them. The Islanders, I'm pretty sure this is the goaltender's 3rd or 4th, could be even their 5th shutout of the day, which is crazy, or the year. And the same with Markstrom, who in this game which is crazy. He only had 22 saves. That means the Rangers only shot 22 times. That is ridiculous. Matthew Tkachuk had a good game with 3 assists and 1 goal, having a hell of a game. But yeah, the Flames did destroy the Rangers, and the Flames during the week. That's why I kind of like doing this throughout like these like sections, and I might honestly just do this as a weekly thing where I don't do the cut up videos. I just do the full week because I think it's more easier to do that. And it's honestly more fun to me. Might not be to you guys, but whatever. But the Coyotes get their first win of the season over the expansion team. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest. I was at the Silver Knights game, and I was very intrigued about this game. When I saw that the Kraken scored 2 goals in the first minute, I was like, oh my god. And then they pulled the goaltender, and I was like, oh my god, it was that bad. They pulled the goaltender. I can't say his name. Is it Wegwood? I can't. But he came in for Arizona. He had 27 saves. I believe on 27 saves, he probably had like 29 shots on him because he allowed 2 goals. But then this is where it gets interesting. So then the Coyotes scored at the end, or towards the end of the period, and then they scored in the second, and then they were like, okay, this game could be interesting. And the Coyotes came back at home, getting their first win of the season against the Kraken. The Kraken went 4-7-1. Kraken are having a tremendous disappointment. Definitely not up to the Vegas standards that they keep trying to get. The Devils beat the Sharks in a shootout. Another really good game for the shootout. But once again, I think that the Kraken losing to the Coyotes, getting the Coyotes their first win, was the game of the day. So then, back-to-back nights, the Golden Knights had to play a game. Now this was big, playing back-to-back sucks. And what I heard is that I guess the Golden Knights had to go. The Golden Knights literally left that game in Montreal. By the time they even got to their hotel in Detroit, it was like 3 or so. It was late. And then this was an early morning game too. It wasn't that early, but it was early. It was like 3 maybe. Like they had an early game, I think. No excuses. You need to walk out of there. But that was one of the reasons why this game, or this trip for the Knights, they had to get at least 2 wins. So they do come out even out of this. But here's the thing: after this, they begin their home this week. They begin their home stint, which is like 6 weeks or 6 games, I think. And I think they've gone out through 3 already. But Red Wings beat the Golden Knights. Was a good game for the Red Wings. Leonard wasn't playing. I think that, he played the other night. And Brossoit just could not keep, goals kept going past him, so it was very difficult for him. The Blackhawks beat the Predators, and actually this was a pretty good game, and this is what I put down as the game winner because the Blackhawks win in OT. And I don't think Fleury was not in this game at all. The Wild won a big game against the Islanders, scoring 4 times in the third. That's going to finish a team off. The Ducks beat the Blues. The Ducks are not a bad team this year. I think they have their moments. I think if they just stick to the consistency, I think they could be they could compete in that Pacific Division. But now that the Golden Knights are kind of heating up now, the Flames are going down. There's going to be a lot of moving parts. So, and then the Canucks beat the Stars. This is like their last win in like a long time. Was a good game. This was a good game. That was a good game. On Monday, the Panthers. Only 3 games. This was the game of the day. The Panthers versus the Rangers. The Rangers pulled out a shocker, beating the Panthers. Panthers getting all 3 of their goals in the third period. And I think that is what could have changed a lot of this. Capitals beat the Sabres. It was a pretty good game too. Obviously, Capitals just, competing with the Sabres. Sabres tried to make a comeback, but it just, it was too late. Kings beat the Maple Leafs. I kind of expected this, to be 100% honest with you. Kings have their games where they they should and should not win, and the Kings definitely I think should have won this game, and they did. So that's what happens. All right, on to Tuesday, which was a big night for hockey. The Golden Knights had a rematch against the Kraken, and can I tell you that this is where you could tell Vegas's power play. And by the way, let's go back to Sunday real quick. I don't think they got one, but let me see if one of their goals was a power play goal. I don't think it was, but okay, it wasn't. It wasn't. Okay, I wanted to make sure, but they scored 2. So remember, they had 0. Oh crap! my bad. They had 0 power play goals, and then they became a team this week that scored a lot of them. As you can see here, they scored a power play goal at the end of the game. By the way, I don't know if one of those are Riley Smiths, but I don't know. So the stars of the night were apologies. Shea Theodore, Riley Smith, Shea Theodore 0 goals 2 assists +2, and Riley Smith had 2 goals and 0 assists. But Pietrangelo has 1 goal, 1 assist, and I think he would have gotten 2 goals. Or no. Shea Theodore would have gotten a goal, but he got the assist because Riley Smith. But I swear he didn't get that stick. But the Knights, for the second time, they beat the Kraken, and I can't wait for them to play in Seattle. But the Knights have been killing it, and I think the Kraken have definitely need a spark. They're 4-8-1 right here, but they just keep. I think they only won 1 game. This was a good game. This didn't win game of the. I did put a star next to it, but I think there's so many good games. The Bruins and the Senators. This was a fantastic game. Obviously, Bruins killed it in the second, which basically sealed the deal. This could have been a game of the day, in overtime. Kings versus the Canadiens. Kings beat the Canadiens, obviously because the Canadiens are having Iafallo. That's his name. I couldn't think of it earlier. Now I'm looking at it again. The Hurricanes beat the Lightning in overtime. So far, overtime and is just not a place to go with the Lightning. The Devils destroyed the Panthers, and I think that was Spencer Knight when he was the goaltender. And that was big. Another big one was the Red Wings beating the Oilers. This is like the Oilers' second loss, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh!" Connor McDavid had a goal. Obviously, not much to do when your team didn't really kind of come alive. But the Blues beat the Jets in the shootout, which was a really good shootout. And the Blues really did really well. And Binnington did do well with 29 saves. So, pretty good game for him. Blackhawks get another win with Fleury beating his team in a shootout. This was also one of the games of the day because it was just so good. Fleury had 42 game saves, obviously 44 shots, and a 9.55 save percentage. So that's crazy. The Sharks beat the Flames. There's not much to say. The Sharks just killed it in the third, and that basically sealed the deal. Canucks lose to the Ducks in overtime. And this is where the Canucks kind of go downhill. And Gibson had a phenomenal game, and which he should have. He had a phenomenal game. He had 41 saves. Gibson is a guy who I always try to give so much respect for. So now this is going to be a hard one to choose for the game of the day because they're all pretty lopsided. But if I had to say what was the most enjoyable game to watch, I would have to say the Predators and the Stars because it's somewhat competitive. Maple Leafs killed the Flyers. Predators killed the Stars. Well, killed it was competitive, so it was a good game. And then the Wild beat the Coyotes. Coyotes got the win, and then they were just like, all right, we're gonna take a nap. So Wild playing back-to-back games, and they played at Las Vegas. And they honestly lost to Vegas because of their And this is the game of the day in my opinion. Um, because the Vegas has gone on a run. They have gone on a run. They've done really well. They beat the Wild in a game that they kind of needed to beat the Wild. You know, everyone had this marked on the calendar, and they were like, "How are the Knights going to do against the Senator or the Wild?" My apologies. So it was a very interesting game, and honestly, what saved it was the rookies. The Paul Cotter, who actually scored his first goal and then played the next day with the Silver Knights and got a goal, and then played the next day and got a goal. He's been killing it. So if we need to call someone up, because his confidence has grown, um, two Golden Knights get their first goal, which had to be a must-win. And I do believe one goal was a power play goal. I could be wrong. I am wrong. Damn, I thought we had a power play goal in this one. It's alright, because we get a lot in the next game. But yeah, Knights did good. I was worried towards the end. I was like, yeah, the Golden Knights going to mess this up. Because what's going to happen? You know? And they did let 2 goals in the third. But the Golden Knights held on pretty strong. It was a funny situation at the end of the game where Janmark had a chance to get an empty net, and he hit the post, and I was like, oh no. And then he missed the rebound to get it in, so I was like, oh crap, this is going to be interesting. But it was a really good game, and I think it was really competitive until, like, the end. The Oilers beat the Bruins. Oilers are just dominant. They're playing dominant. Their power play is tremendous, and that's what you need, really. Canadians beat the Flames in a really good game. Nick Suzuki having a really good game, and Nick Suzuki has really been helping this team to get victories. Kings beat Senators. Devils beat Islanders. A really good game for the Devils, and the Devils have had a good season so far. In a shootout, and this is one I checked off. The Penguins beat the Panthers, and it was a hell of a game. And I think Jari had a hell of a game, and it was good. The debut of the goaltender who has been waiting a long, long time to make his NHL debut finally made his debut, and he got a shutout. This was a hell of a game to watch because of that moment, but you know, it doesn't deserve game of the day. And if I had to give player of the day, I think definitely it was him. Predators beat Blues in an overtime, well deserved. Jets beat Sharks, and Avalanche killed the Canucks. I say killed because it was 7-1. And then here's the problem. Thatcher Demko was in there for at least most of them. I don't think he was in there for all of them, but he was in there for most of them. The Ducks also killed the Kraken, and it was interesting to see this game because it was like the Golden Knights were, or sorry, my apologies. My mind is working at like 1,000%. The Canucks and the Avalanche, real quick. We'll just try to finish this off. The Canucks just could not get anything. The Avalanche reminded me of the game 1 in the series against Vegas. They killed it, and they just need to keep going and trying to get the momentum they need because they can boost up in their division and win. The Ducks killed the Kraken in one of the weirdest games I've seen because it was literally like, okay, they scored first. And then when you're going into the third period, it's 4-2. You're like, okay, this is gonna have to be a hell of a comeback. But it's funny because it's like in the third, it was like, all right, they have no shot, no prayer, and then it was like Ducks score, Kraken score, Ducks score, Kraken score, and it was just like, come on. So Kraken lose to the Ducks. What you gotta do? The Sabres beat the Oilers, and probably the biggest shocker, and I did have this as game of the day. Do I have my note? I think I have my notes messed up. No, I don't. This was definitely one of the games of the day, in my opinion. I think it was because it was just a big shocker. Second period was the most competitive, by far. But there was a lot of good games to this day, so maybe I'll wait to give the reward. I think I'm gonna start giving it at the end of the game. Maple Leafs versus the Flames and an OT. Maple Leafs are starting to get more wins under their belt, which they need. But yeah, Flames couldn't do too much. Flyers versus the Hurricanes. Flyers won, and this was a little shocking to me. Hart had a good day, 29 saves on 39 saves on 40 shots. And then the Capitals beating the Blue Jackets. Yeah, good game too. And then Blackhawks beat the Coyotes. That was a game everyone is interested in because both teams have had slow starts, but the right team won that game. And Fleury was one of the reasons for that, with 22 saves. And their defense actually showed up to that game too. So I could have given it to I really could have given it to anybody, but I do want to give it to the Sabres and the Oilers. So now we're gonna get into the two big days of hockey. That was yesterday and today. And I know this is a long video, but we're here and we've made it. I was playing bowling with a couple of my friends when this game was going on. I walked in and it was 2-0. And I was watching when everything started playing out. In this game, I do believe we had at least 2 power play goals. I could be wrong, but I know we have at least 1. There you go. Gosh, stop doing that. We have 2 power play goals. This is only one of 4 meetings with this team. But this is definitely a game where everyone was looking at because it was like the last time the Knights went against Thatcher Demko. It was in the playoffs, and they barely beat him. Every Golden Knights fan can't hear the word Demko. We get like PTSD. We can't hear it. The Knights shut that shit down right away. It did look like the Canucks were like, holy crap, we lost by 7. Or we lost by 6. It was 7-1. We can't let that happen tonight. And they did the opposite. Yevgeny Dadonov was the number 1 star in this game because he played a big role. Getting that first goal, which was a power play goal. And you know what? Having him on the line with Stone was interesting. Stone makes his return in the lineup, and I was very happy to see that. Everyone was happy to see Stone back. I'm on a fan Twitter page, and everyone was hyped up the whole day because they were like, he's skating in practice, he's out in the warm-ups, he could play, and he played. Getting 2 goals and 1 assist, and Jonathan Marchessault getting a goal as well. 2 goals as well. Who's one of my favorite guys. That's his jersey right behind me, so one of my favorite players. He got his 100th goal as a Golden Knight and 101. But in the beginning of this game, you're like, this could be an interesting game coming into it. And it really was, because it was 3-3 going into the third because the Knights had a hell of a second period coming into play. Another rookie gets their first NHL goal. That's always fun to see. And the Golden Knights just took it away in the third. Canucks for the second game in a row lost 7 goals, and that is ridiculous. You can't have that happen. And I just can't believe that happened, because you don't score that much, and it was just ridiculous. Jonathan Marchessault, and it was just, talking about insult to injury. The last goal by Jonathan Marchessault, Demko tried to play it. I forget what happens, but it just doesn't go on his stick. And then Jonathan's going quick, and he just taps it right in. And that's just so hard. You could tell this team was frustrated, and they unfortunately had to play tonight. Lost that game. I just feel so bad for them, but they need to get their stuff together. Demko is really a good goalie, and I'm sad that he's doesn't have a team. It's kind of like the Fleury situation. Bruins beat the Devils. This was pretty much a no-brainer. Devils, just didn't play that well. They looked like they were making a comeback, and then Bruins were like, yeah, you're not making a comeback. Leafs beat the Sabres, and honestly, one of the best games of the night, in my opinion. You know, it was pretty much close throughout the whole game. You thought the Sabres might have pulled off this victory, but unfortunately they came up short. The Senators beat the Penguins. Penguins are having a rough kind of start as well. They're having that little rocky, win a few, lose a few. Red Wings beat the Canadiens in overtime. This was pretty much a really good game. Lightning beat the Panthers in the Florida rivalry in overtime, which was also a game of the day. Ooh, I just hurt my knee because I popped it. Rangers beat the Blue Jackets 5-3. Rangers having a hell of a time after having a little bit of a slow start as well. Jets beat the Kings in overtime. Hurricanes beat the Blues. Predators beat the Coyotes. The Stars beat the Flyers. Avalanche scored a lot of goals again against the Sharks. And the Wild beat the Kraken. And now real quick, I was trying my best to come down here because the problem with the Seattle team so far is that they're not doing what Vegas did their first year, and that was score a lot. Like Vegas their first year, and even now, they score a lot. You know, they score, so most of their games were never low-scoring games. And if they were, their defense was super good. So, I've already heard that their captain is already on the trading block. And now this to me is why I said I don't like that they picked a captain their very first year, because the Golden Knights picked their captain in their 4th season, and they did it after they had a list of people they could have done. Pietrangelo was coming in, they could have been like, oh, we could pick Pietrangelo, he has a big contract. Stone was an option, Pacioretty was an option, Marchessault was an option, Martinez was an option, Carlson was an option. All these guys were options. And there was rumors that Fleury could have been the first captain. And I don't see that happening because goaltending captains are very rare, but it could happen. But the Wild beating them and the Kraken going from, because I always count the overtime loss as a loss. So they have won 4 games, but they have lost 11. 10 of those are in regulation. And that is just ridiculous to me. The Kraken need to be better. But I was very upset that I heard that they're already getting rid of their captain. They said, hey, he is on the trade table. And to me, that's kind of like, because that's the thing, they want to start scoring more goals, and that is what they want to do. I just don't think they can do it. Seattle has put themselves in a situation, and this is my rant of the video, by the way. I've had them, obviously I've had the Jack Eichel one. I had the Bennington situation when, he tried to hit the guy with a stick. I've had my little rants, and this is my rant of the video. The Kraken need to figure out what to do, but stop doing stuff so quick. You pick the captain, you retired a number really quick. I feel like they were playing catch-up game in Vegas. They're like, we need to retire a number. So what number should we retire? Oh, well, we sold 32 tickets for the 32nd franchise, blah, 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 blah. 32, let's retire it. Gotcha, let's retire it. Raise the banner. Let's raise the Stanley Cup banner in our 2nd home game of the year. Yeah. They have one of the worst home records out. I think out of their 4 wins, I don't even know if those 4, I think they only had 2 wins at home. I could be wrong. They could have 3. But they don't have a good winning percentage at home. So Seattle needs to get their stuff together. But that's why I love that the Golden Knights said, okay, on our first year we need 3 alternate captains. And they picked them. Vegas then picked a guy their 4th year, the guy who has a very long contract, who's going to be on the team for a while. The team loves him, and the team is surrounding people around the captain, pretty much. And that's why I think Vegas was like, it was the right time to pick a captain. Especially because people were upset that we didn't have one in our 2nd year or 3rd year, but we were also still building our team. This team hasn't been built yet. It is new. It was just born. You need time to do that. Like, you could have given 3 A's. Give that guy the A. So what? But you don't give him the C and then just say, hey, that is like a team struggling, say the Oilers, the Penguins, and they're like, all right, we'll put up Sidney Crosby. We'll put up that. But it's different. It's different because that team has history. That team already has a history with the captain. This team doesn't. It doesn't need a captain right now. What you guys need to be? You guys need to be the misfits, just like the Knights were. You guys have to have that mentality that, hey, they didn't want me. They didn't want me. And you need to play every game like it's, a redeemer game. Because someone on that team, it is a redeeming game for them. They need to start playing like it because they're not playing like it now. And, I'm super upset about the goaltending, by the way, because I knew Grubauer is a decent goaltender, but he needs a team around him. Their second guy, the guy that they drafted from the expansion draft, I know I kind of died right there. Their second guy, I can't think of his name, but the guy that they picked from the expansion draft, I was like, this is a perfect goaltender to have as your number one, as your franchise guy you're going to want to go through. And I personally thought, I was like, oh my god, they could have a really good team around these guys. But then yet again, they don't, they're so new and they're so new into this, they don't understand the capability of what they need. The Kraken already getting rid of their captain is a thing, then what else is? When do you decide that picking your coach was a bad decision? Because there was other coaches that could have taken that job, and I don't think that this guy is your dude. I think he will be already pressed to make a big decision. Do I think they'll cut him midway through the year? No, I don't think that. Will they give him a year or two to think of, to until they make a decision? And then maybe that third year, if they don't start off well, then he's off to the curb, like the guy in Vegas was. I liked Gallant. He was alright. I didn't like him though towards the end of his tenure because it seemed like he wasn't changing the team. And the team saw that, and the general manager and the owner said, we need to get rid of this dude. And we brought in freaking Pete DeBoer, and he's been fantastic. He's been a really good head coach for the Vegas Golden Knights, and he's my favorite coach. One of my favorite coaches. I have a few favorite coaches in the league, and of course I'm gonna like my own head coach, but Gallant was just I just didn't feel that connection. But now DeBoer's mindset is win, 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 and we need to fix something to win. We can't just keep doing the same old stuff. But yeah, that's how I feel about the situation that they are rumored to be getting rid of this dude. Moral of the story is, don't go into stuff too quick. If you don't know if this guy's going to be the future of your team, then why the hell did you pick him and then give him the C if I don't get it. And to be honest, this also could be, because I know people are probably already commenting, but this could also be a thing where it's like, well, they don't have a lot to get rid of, They have only there's a handful of forwards they really could trade and get something back. Same with their defensemen. So maybe that is a thing where it's like, well, we don't have a lot, so we have to get rid of somebody to get something. And that can come from goaltending. That can come from many different places, but I think Seattle needs to turn around quickly. And I mean quickly. Alrighty. Sunday games, baby. The Sunday games, and I'm going to tell you straight up, today was an interesting day for hockey. So, the Flames, once again, have another shutout. 4-0. Beating the Senators. Senators really can't do nothing. And how you doing? Keep it moving. Bruins beat the Canadiens. Not a lot there. Rangers beat the Devils in a shootout. That's probably game of the day. The only other game is Oilers or Blues. That could maybe be next to it, but I'm going to give it to the Rangers and Devils. Capitals versus the Penguins. The Oilers beating the Blues, and the Canucks losing their fourth or fifth straight game, and it is to Anaheim. So then Monday there's only 2 games, and then that's when the busy week of all the other games. So we're gonna see what I'm gonna do. Oh, I can't wait for this game right here. Kraken versus the Blackhawks. I can't wait for that game. That's gonna be interesting. Definitely. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun game, especially because I hope Fleury plays, and then Grubauer try to get that playoff back. Avalanche and Canucks, they're not gonna want to meet each other again, but I think my plan will be on Friday. Or no, I do want to make it at least one more game. Come on, let's see. So Sunday, there's no way I'll do Sunday. So on Sunday, I'll have a video of having the recap of the week. I'm gonna do it early in the morning or late Saturday night and have it up on Sunday morning. And then yeah, you guys will see. Then we're gonna wait a week and then do it again. Because I am liking doing a weekly video. I tried to do the cut a week in half, but then it just fell apart. It's easier for me to just take the week in by storm and do it. And maybe that gives me a bigger test and actually watch all the games again. So then I could try to get a better insight on all the games. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good week. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. I'll be busy on this Friday. I got family coming to town. And it's my sister's birthday and my cousin's birthday. So I'm going to be a little busy. Tomorrow's going to be, kind of a slow day for hockey. Only having 2 games, but, it happens. We have those days. And it's always Mondays. It's always the Mondays where it's like the cool down of the week. It's weird. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good day. Remember, I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope you guys don't get freaked out when you see it in videos now. If you guys want me to make like a video or maybe have like a mini story time in one of these videos, let me know. I would love to tell you guys the story about this. Yeah, I don't know if I will, but if you guys want it, we'll talk about it. Once again, I'm sorry for the long video. That is why I like putting the timestamps in the video. Remember, if you are, well, it doesn't matter if you've already made it all the way through, but if you're watching this live, I have to put this video in a certain format to get the week, or to get the timestamps before the video goes out. So I'm gonna see if I could test that out. If not, the timestamps will be in this whenever people watch it. So have a good night. See you later. Have a good day. See ya. Peace. Mwah. Mwah.